The previous videos have mostly showed you how to get things into Zotero that you kind of already have in some way or other. You have a book in hand, so you use the magic wand to bring in the book information by the ISBN. Or you have PDFs in hand, so you drag them over to Zotero and extract the metadata for those. But now I'm going to show you a way to get the metadata, the information about the article that you'll need to cite it, into Zotero before you even have the PDF in hand. You can integrate it right into your research process using this method. So I have a search here. I did a search in the Web of Science Core Collection database, which I highly recommend to anyone who does research on just about anything. And I did something else that I also recommend, which is to sort my results by time cited, highest to lowest. This essentially will give you a ranking, a lot like how Google ranks web pages. It's pretty cool. So anyhow, I have some items on here that I want to get into my Zotero. Notice I don't even have Zotero open, but I'm going to show you a way to sort of make it do its work in the background. So I've got some things in here that look interesting to me, and I might use or cite them later. So I look up here in my upper right corner of the browser. Here I have a folder, and this folder, what that means is that Zotero has detected multiple items that are citable things on that page. And if I click on the folder, I will get a list of those things. Notice that I have 80 search results, but not all 80 of them are showing on here, just the ones that are on this particular page if I were to scroll down to the bottom of them. So if I would like to save a few of these to my Zotero, I can select them like this. I can select all of them by hitting Select All. And throw a few into my Zotero. I hit OK. And this little thing over here kind of tells me what's going on. Notice that some of these are detecting as books, the Savage Conflict one and the Schofield one. I'm going to take a look at that because whenever you're bringing things in from a database, it's going to be using whatever metadata the database is providing. And sometimes that metadata can be a little bit sketchy. And in the case of Web of Science Core Collection, that's a database that primarily deals with journal articles. It's only somewhat recently started to really look seriously at books and book sections. So I'm going to look at this thing, and this top one here really does look like a book. It even says book series, Civil War American, da-da-da, and it says the number of pages. So that's really talking about the whole entire book. This next one here, Schofield and the Politics of Generalship, yeah, that looks like a whole book as well. So it's what Zotero thinks it is, so that's good. I will caution you that sometimes in this database, Zotero will, or actually really the database kind of makes book chapters look like books, and it can be a little bit confusing to Zotero, so sometimes that will require a little bit of cleanup of your records. But the main thing is now those records are in Zotero. Now notice that this database does not have PDFs in it. You would have to, if you wanted the PDFs, you'd have to follow the Find It at MU and get PDFs the normal way, probably put them in a folder, like kind of your normal workflow would be. But before you even do that, though, now you have all of those articles in your Zotero. And if you open up Zotero, when I open it up, I see I had the ones that I put in there from the previous tutorials, and now I've got the other ones as well. So that's how you get things, multiple items in. The other thing you can do when you're looking in a database, I'm going to close down Zotero again briefly, is I'm going to go to my next page, or well, I'll just find one of these that hasn't already been added. Oh yeah, this one's really interesting. This, although actually, well, it's a book review probably because I think it's talking about, well, wait, no, I bet it was before he wrote his book. Okay, anyway, I am interested in this article, so I click on it and I want to find out a little bit more information. And, oh, I see, it's a reprint. Interesting. Okay. So get a little bit more information about the article, and I decide that at some point I probably want to cite it. So now, up in the upper right-hand corner of Zotero, I've got this Save to Zotero thing up here, and notice it's not a folder because it's no longer detecting multiple items. I can just click on this individual item, and it will bring that thing into my library. And if I click on it, that's the one that's going to be highlighted. Always the latest thing that I bring in will be highlighted, and it gives me the important information about the article.